Hello, friends. Today we come to you with an episode with the entire family, all four of us, and we want to talk to you over the next few episodes about some kid things, raising kids. In particular, today we want to talk to you about pushing your kids out of their comfort zone. Welcome back, friends. Dr. Nels here, coming to you with some more information on life and leadership to build the values and principles in you to make you or help you be the best version of you. And as I said in the intro, we wanted to do a few episodes here with the entire family because we believe there's a lot of you with kids, some adult kids, some kids in high school, some kids in junior high, some kids in grade school, some babies, looking for some information on raising a family and raising kids and children into being rock star adults. And so we thought we'd talk to you about some of that today and see what kind of response we might get. Please feel free to ask us questions in the notes. We'll get to them at some point, but today we want to talk to you about pushing your kids out of their comfort zone, because we know that comfort is the enemy of progress. And it's our duties and responsibilities as parents to push these two beyond their comfort zone so that they grow, stretch them, expand them, to expand their mind, their capacity, and those sort of things. And so with these two wonderful kids, young adults, we want to visit about that. And what comes to your mind, Karen, as you think about how we've raised these two fine specimens and pushing them out of their comfort zone? What comes to your mind when you think about that?
I think that this topic, my brain immediately goes to Mackenzie. And I guess I'll back up a little bit with that. I think, as we get pushed out of our comfort zone, either A, we choose to do that, or B, life chooses to do that for us. And so, when Nash's accident happened, we all kind of got thrust immediately out of our comfort zone, and you just figure out how to maybe survive and then thrive in that moment. Sorry. I think we've watched over the last few years, Mackenzie is a lot like myself. She's a little more internal, a little more quiet, a little less likely to dive out of her comfort zone. And she had the opportunity here this past summer to go to Hobie camp, and we'll let her talk about that. But she wasn't super excited about going. We asked her if she wanted to go, and then we told her how much she wanted to go, and then we took her and dropped her off. And I dropped off a kiddo that didn't want to necessarily stay, was terrified, a little bit tearful, and 4 days later we picked up a kid that didn't want to come home with us, had the greatest time of her life, and wished she could have stayed longer. So I think we've learned that sometimes just helping push them out ends up being a great thing within reason.
The Hobie Camp was a leadership conference that I went to this summer. It was I think it was 4 days long. It's just sophomores from people around the state of Kansas, and your school can send, I think, like 2 or 3 people, but our school just sent me, and it's basically like, I guess, a conference where you listen to people talk and you interact with other sophomores, and it's all involving being a leader, even if you don't realize what's happening in the moment.
Mackenzie, when we dropped you off, how nervous were you?
I was terrified.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's just what happens. How long did it take you to get settled in and to get a little more comfortable?
Probably till the second day.
And what made that more comfortable? What processes occurred in that process that helped you gain some comfort?
Probably realizing that everybody else was scared too, and then that we were all there for the same reason, I guess. I definitely would have missed out on how fun it was, because a lot of it was exactly what it's supposed to be, getting out of your comfort zone and doing chants and stuff. So if I would have just sat back and not done any of it, it definitely wouldn't have been as enjoyable, and I would have missed out on those opportunities.
So when we went and picked you up, we saw you in the environment that they cast you all into, and it was a different scenario. It's almost like a big, massive pep rally when you left. It's honestly kind of weird, to be honest, but they had chants and cheers and they gave out awards and whatnot. As you went through that, what was the feeling that you had as you left there?
I mean, it was happy, but it was kind of sad at the same time. Like, I've never experienced something like that, I guess.
And so I guess the reason I asked that is she went from not wanting to go because it was going to be uncomfortable, leaving the house, going with people you never have met your entire life. And we had to kind of nudge her. But she took the nudge and dove in. And then as she went through the process, learned more about herself, got a little more comfortable, and then it ended and she greatly enjoyed it and didn't necessarily want to leave. And to the point of, she maybe thinks she would like to help with the Hobie camp going forward. Who knows what will happen there. But we as parents, it's our duties to push our children out of their comfort zone and lead them into it and help them dive in and let them swim and flounder on their own for a little bit. That's hard to do because you have to let go. But as we coach and train people, we need to let go before we truly have to physically let go. When they go to college or they're out of high school and they leave, we need to help them experience that while we can reel them back in if necessary. So what else do you have to add for today?
I guess I would just, in finishing with it, even after leaving there, we've gotten to watch Mac go and talk to different clubs about the program, talk to, her peers at school about the program, and just watched her flourish. So, I guess the point would be that even though it's something she didn't want to do, it's something that will probably last with her for the rest of her life. And she's also gotten the ability to really share that with other people and find out that she's a much more strong leader than she ever realized that she was prior to that.
So that's it for today on pushing your kids out of their comfort zone. We'll come back to you next week with some more hopefully valuable information for you as you raise your children, or you coach your children on raising their children, which are your grandchildren, or as you just help people in the workplace that are beside you that have children, and there are conversations that maybe you have an opportunity to help lead, coach, influence, guide, counsel, and pray for. Well, if you like this information, click subscribe here. We'll see you in a week, friends. Thanks for joining us.